Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It has been years since I've made one, so I figured I'd make one again. And I want to start getting this channel back up and running if possible. So, there's no better way to start off after 2 years than completely changing everything. So the first thing I want to do, the first video I want to make, is actually on a completely new topic, which is my setup for my lizard's tank. So, I got this lizard on September 3rd of last year, 2018, and he was born June last year, so he's almost a year old. He will be in a little while. As you can see, he's pretty, yeah. His name is Delta, and he is a bearded dragon. His species is Pogonifidiceps, or central bearded dragon. And, yeah. So basically, I'm just going to explain a little bit about them. They are really docile lizards, and they're just fine with being held, or whatever you want to do with them. They'll sit and watch TV with you. They will run around and play when you want them to play. They'll sit on top of things while you drive them around, like an RC car. They'll do about anything. And I'm just going to go into my setup for him. Okay, so this is my terrarium. It is a 40-gallon terrarium, and it is 1.5 feet tall, 3 feet wide, and 1.5 feet deep. And basically I have a few things in there that make up the terrarium. I use for substrate, I use a repti sand, which is basically a sand made specifically for reptiles. It's made by Zoomed. And basically you can take that out and wash it after a while. I just get new sand every time. But that's what I do for substrate. So for food and water dishes, I just have standard, I believe that's just, the big one's Zoomed, the little one might be as well, I cannot recall. But I bought a starter set with the tank and that bowl and the lights I have up top, which I'll talk about in a second. But basically all that one bowl came in it, and that little bowl I bought separate for his food. I use the big one as a water dish and the little one as a food dish. Then there's just a side note, there's a thermometer on the wall back there, which tells me the humidity and the temperature. And then I bought him this like $20 log that he loves to bask on. And I actually do have a hammock that I do not currently have set up because I actually cleaned his tank today, and you can see the command strips there where it should hang, but I'm missing a command strip because it broke. So I need to put that hammock up after I get that command strip. Which I will, and he usually lays on his hammock to sleep and everything. So, yeah. So that's basically the gist of the cage. Besides, on top, there is these lights, and you can see a reflection of them. This one is a heat lamp, heat bulb, and this one is a UVB light. And without going into too much detail, basically what UVB does is allows the lizard to absorb calcium into the body. Like when they eat calcium-rich foods, they need something to absorb the calcium. Okay, so I'm going to go more into the light system. So I have the two lights running off the two cords, and down here I have them running into, don't mind the ant trap and everything, two Wemo Minis, which basically allow me to control them from my phone and automate them. Look at Delta. So basically what it allows me to do is set them to go off at a certain time each night and turn on every morning at a certain time. So that Delta's on a schedule even while I am not here, because I cannot always be here, obviously. So just a little look at the cage. I will take off these pins. It's a nicer cage. I actually had an accident with it today where I dropped one of these lids and almost crushed the lizard, so that was interesting. But the lids come off. It's in 2 pieces. It's mesh, wire mesh. So this is Delta. Yeah, he's trying to lick my finger. Yeah. So this is the sand. It's basically just, sand. And then the 2 bowls and his rock. And his rock also allows him to crawl in it if he was smaller. Obviously he can't do that, he's too big. But yeah, and that's basically his enclosure. I also built, I don't have it in there right now, but I have this little plant from a Lego Dino set that he likes to usually, honestly, just crush, because he usually just stands on it or flops on it or does something on it to crush it. And that's where you build it. So yeah, that's the main pen, and now to the feeding station. So let me move these all the way. So this is where I usually prepare most of his food. I don't actually, cut things on here, but I also store his food that I do buy there, and I have Critter Keeper, not currently here, but these are just super worms, 25 and 50, which are basically bigger mealworms. And mealworms, I'm just gonna explain this all. Mealworms are a type of nutritional supplement worm, which basically is just a feeder worm for him that he eats, and these are just basically bigger ones with more nutritional value. Yeah, so you can't see any in there because there's only 25 and I've used a lot of them. But if you open this one, there they are. Okay, and the next thing, like I said earlier, calcium. Very important. They can get a metabolic bone disease, which basically weakens their bones to the point where they can't walk, and they're prone to that. So cover all their insects and sometimes veggies in calcium. Next item I use a lot, hand sanitizer. Can't stress enough because of how important it is. Salmonella. I mean, it's not as common to get salmonella from because the only way to get it is through feces, but there's, you know what I mean. They live in a tiny cage, so you never know. This is just a heat mat controller because there is a heat mat right there under there. It's hidden. He likes to lay there. And yeah. Okay, the next thing. Drawer. Okay, this looks a little crazy, so let me explain. These hot hands are going to look out of place because I use them when the power goes out. When the power goes out, I can put them somewhere near him, not directly on the lizard, but somewhere near him, so that he stays warm because the lights cannot be on when the power's out. Just knives, just little tools here, nail clippers, cat nail clippers what I use. Then when I do clip his nails, yeah, that is very important because if you accidentally nick a finger or something like that, it's very important. More calcium. I've never used water treatment before. I do use the vitamins though. And then little, this is like a mix of food. It's already balanced. And I still have this. This is originally what Delta came in. He was a lot smaller. And obviously cricket water and cricket food back there. And a spray bottle, which I don't really use because humidity is already high in here. Here's this net. Again, like I said, I don't have it on, but yeah. And here is basically the rest of my feed farms. They're not currently working right now because the actual worms themselves, these are mealworm farms, and the worms are still tiny. I'll see if I can get them on camera. They're still very tiny because I raised them, the previous mealworms, into beetles, and then they turned in and they laid eggs. There, you can barely see them. But yeah, they laid eggs and they turned to that. And these guys will grow up and pupate and become beetles, which then lay more eggs. This is where the previous mealworms were. These are all just systems. I actually got these mealworms from a friend, and now they should be self-sustainable. So that's basically that. So more on the actual lizard themselves. So I have a little bit more time, it's only been 5 minutes. So I'll go into more of him and his diet specifically. Because I've gone over some of the food, mealworms, stuff like that, but I haven't gone over basically what else he eats. Because they eat protein, but they're also supposed to get a balanced diet of greens. Especially at this age, they eat more protein, but then as they get older, they will need more greens instead of protein. So less live insects as they get older, and more veggies. There's there's a long list of foods that they can't eat, but there's also a good list that they can. So one favorite of Delta's is blueberries, actually, and also just he likes superworms in general. So blueberries and superworms. He also eats some radicchio with that, usually. Some collard greens. Collard greens are a good green for them. Gives them nutrients and helps them each day. So the actual lizard, they grow to be about 2 feet long when fully grown. And they are obviously reptiles, they're lizards. They are originally from Australia. Central Australia, hence Central Bearded Dragon. And there's also Eastern, Western, and so forth. There's different morphs. This one's a regular, like it's just a standard. There's no morph on him because morphs cost more money. And I was going for more of a basic than a, I don't know, put more money into it. Because you're already dumping all kinds of money into it, paying for worms. The terrarium was like $300 with everything in it. And then obviously crickets, worms, more calcium when you need it, all this other stuff. I bought all the tubs. Yeah. Not to mention electricity. If you really count, if you count electricity, it does add up with these two bulbs because I believe they're 150 watt for this heat bulb up here. But yeah, so they are pretty high. But in the long run, I think they're definitely worth it because you get an adorable lizard to play with. So yeah, you get and honestly, these guys are pretty. I'll do another video on more about them. I'll get them out and everything. But like I said, they're really docile because he can literally just sit there and watch me do things. Like I'll be sitting across the room playing Minecraft or doing whatever, or watching YouTube, or doing anything literally. He'll just sit there and watch me, and he'll be fine with that. He doesn't care. So yeah, they're just really good pets. I'm really glad that I chose to get one of him because I almost got leopard gecko, not plural, and that would have been a different story because you need more hides and different environment. These guys are more desert than moist. Yeah. But like I said, he'll just watch anything you do. And like I said, they get 2 feet long because he's about 1 foot long now. Because their tail makes up a lot of that. But like, let's see if I can get him to run around. Hey, Delta. Anyways. He blends in pretty well with the sand. But obviously I know where he is because he doesn't blend in that well. Yeah. So guys, this is basically my setup of the bearded dragon enclosure. And everything else that goes with him, including his food and his medical supplies and everything else. And basically guys, that's basically it for this video. And I'm sorry for taking such a break, but I think it was a long review because, well, frankly, it's just, I don't know. I need a break from YouTube because I didn't really feel it anymore. And now I feel like I have something to actually do on YouTube and not just make Minecraft videos all the time. That weren't very good, might I add, but we'll make it better from here on out. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys hopefully next time if I make another video. I really hope I do, because well, I want to make more videos, and I hope they're of Delta, because I want to do more of Delta, and as he gets bigger and the things he can do, and all about him. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.